Yeah, I appreciate it. This was a game where we knew that we needed to be extremely sharp right from the beginning, and I think it was a test for our team's maturity. Hats off to Illinois Tech. Coach is a fantastic coach. It's a team that I played against when I was in college at Aurora. I have had a great respect for them and their staff and what they do. And we were happy to bring them to the Holman Center. I know they were very gracious and very appreciative of the opportunity to play in this kind of environment. And I thought they played a fantastic game tonight. And I think our team continues to evolve. I think we've got to figure out a way to have a higher level of maturity in how we go about executing offensively. I think we were all disappointed in our start. We had very, very good starts so far this season in everything we were doing. We got off to a slow start, and that's not acceptable for our team. I think our guys understand that and know that the improvement that has to happen immediately. That there is no time. We've got to keep our foot on the gas and keep working and going. I thought we had some bright spots throughout the night in different areas from different people. But overall, we've got to have a big, bright light throughout the game, not just flickers of it. And I think that's going to come. And sometimes with teams, they take a little longer to develop. And I thought we were farther down the road at this point. But it's one where we've got to make a quick jump here because we've got such a tough schedule coming up over the next few weeks.
Yeah, kind of on that front, Southern or SIUE came into this building last season and kind of just dominated. So, what are the key things that this team's going to take from the slow start going over there on Monday?
Well, I mean, it was a competitive game, and a year ago, and one where they obviously had a very, very talented team. We've got a lot of respect for Coach Baroni. Coach Graves and I have both known him for years and years. They had two really, really talented old guards that ended up being, player of the year in that league or first team all league. In that league, they won the conference and went to NCAA tournament. They were a good team. That's one of the challenges that we liked and originally scheduled in this series. We know that we're going to have to go down there and be really, really good to get a road win, and that's our goal. We've got to be able to win at home and get road wins, and we know that that's going to be a good challenge for us, and I think our guys understand that assignment, and we're anxious to get down there and go to work.
Early on, you had a lot of subs coming in and out of the game, when things were a bit closer than the first half. What does that show about the trustworthiness that you have in your bench depth for Neos?
Yeah, I think the one part that we think has always been a strength of this team since we got them here in June, we've always felt like we've got good depth. Part of that, there's never enough minutes to get everybody the experiences that you want early. We had an opportunity tonight to get some guys some very, very needed minutes to kind of see where they were at. And I think we had some guys that showed us that they could play and got some trust in our staff. And we talk a lot about that confidence and trust is shown by demonstrated ability. And so I thought some guys demonstrated that tonight. And I'm excited to kind of see how they take this moment that they had and then build on it this week. And that way when their number's called moving forward, that they can come in and give us another big jump when needed. I think that'll be a key. I don't know that we'll have a very, very clear head and shoulders MVP throughout this year. I think the MVP of our team will be our team. And being able to have guys that can play, whether that's a 2-minute run, 3-minute run, 4-minute run, and really elevate our level of play will be very, very important throughout the season.
Yeah, the one thing that I want to touch on, the turnovers tonight, 26 there. So how can the team work to sharpen that up, and what was sort of the message to us to maybe slow it down and sharpen things up when the team finally took it away?
Sure, I think 16 turnovers is one that probably we'd like to have less. We had 10 the other night at Charlotte, and that's probably about the range that we want to. I thought we had some opportunities where we overpassed and forced some things when it didn't need to be, and that's something that we'll clean up through reps and film. And I think that was more than anything, that was it. We had a couple just boneheaded errors, one on an outlet pass, another on a couple entry passes that accounted for 3 of them. And then a lot of it was just overpassing and overplaying and maybe not taking that first read that was there and the most aggressive read.
Coach, 2 games into the season, learning a lot. Are there any players that kind of have stood out to you and maybe like shockingly took kind of like a step up and maybe a leadership role in this team?
Yeah, I don't know that I would use the adjective shockingly, but I do think that we've had guys, again, I think going back to what I said, the crux of this team will always be the team. And I think we've had guys that have been done exactly what you said in moments. But for us to be where we needed to go, to get where we want to go, we were going to have multiple guys do that for extended period of time. And your best teams are your player-led teams, not your coach-led teams. And for us to do that, we've got to have guys step up at a longer rate and do that. But I could go down and call about every guy over the course of this run where we've had the games in this season. I don't know that one single person has dominated and executed that role at the highest level that we need. But I do think we've had guys in moments do that. And now we've got to build to where we get more consistency and longer duration during those opportunities.
Ian Scott has just came on fire this season, even in the preseason game. So what are you how are you looking for him to really keep it going, especially into Monday?
Yeah, Ian, he can play basketball. I mean, he showed that over his career at Grace in Plainfield High School. He's a guy that loves Indiana State, Terre Haute, Wabash Valley, as much or more than anybody that you can ever imagine having here. And it hurts him when we don't play at a high level, and he's ultra competitive at every mark. And so for him, his growth and development continues to be quick. I think we saw that from Butler game into the Charlotte game where he figured out some stuff athletically, physically that he had to make some adjustments on and did that. And then today we played him in some different positions. He's got to just continue to be relentless. Sometimes he's a little beats himself up a little too quick and gets off task, but he's going to be fine. He's going to be a heck of a player in this league. He's going to be really, really productive, and I think the people in this community are going to love watching him play.
Do you have any update on Joe and Hunter?
No, I think our athletic training staff's doing a tremendous job on working on both of those guys. The doctors at Union have been just over and above with our sports medicine team with them to really speed up their return process. I can't give you whether that's 3 days or a week and a half, but I will tell you that they're a good bit farther along than I thought they would have been at this point. So I'm hoping that we can get these guys back as soon as we can.
Really came on strong, sort of mid point through the game. What do you see there?
Well, all week since the last game, the coaches have been telling me to stay more aggressive because they know how athletic I am. So it was just about being more aggressive than I was the last couple of times and stop being as passive as I've been. And also it just starts from the defensive end for me, being able to get stops and get going and get my team riled up. That just feeds into me being able to just go forward.
The physical aspect of the game today was amazing. Playing above the rim. What does that show with the off-season work that comes into it that fans don't get to see? They see the highlights on the court, but they don't see the work that gets put in the off-season.
Well, all the coaches, they've really invested in us. All the time we've had since June really was about preparing our bodies and our minds, but most of our bodies for a rigorous season and trying to be able to be as physical as possible because we are in a physical league, and we believe that us being way more aggressive than other teams and trying to punk other teams on both sides of the floor is what's going to help us win a lot more. So I think that's just that. The coach is injecting that into us, us being able to lift on a regular basis, come on the court and play as hard as you can every day in practice and just execute.
First game of the season in front of Holman Center fans, just talk about just kind of the atmosphere in the crowd and how it made you feel like having a home crowd.
Well, for me, it's really a blessing. I love the energy out there. It's something that I haven't felt as often because I'm coming up from a JUCO level. So it was a surreal environment to play in. Hearing that crowd go crazy every time we get something good happening, and they energized us a lot, especially in times when we were down and day went on the streak, they were able to kind of help us pick up and lock in every time we start doing something good. So it was a pretty good environment, a pretty good scene, and hopefully we're able to like execute way better next time for them.
Next on a Monday, you have a really scrappy team going. You're going into. What do you know about them, and how can you really work to sharpen things up, especially in the turnover category?
I think, like coaches said, we just gotta emphasize the little things, get better. I think we know this is a really good team. We know what we gotta do, and we're just gonna take these next couple days to prep and get ready.
I'll say just trust in the scout, trust the coaches, listen to what they say and execute. They give us all the keys for every game, and it's on us to just go out there and do the job. Final questions? All right, so.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it all. Thank you.